Wow, wow, wow. Well, well, well. Can I tell you something? Okay, well, this was the live stream. I'm talking about time travel. Time travel in general, because it's not really theoretically impossible time travel. Think about it. Well, yes, it did happen. Number one, if it did happen, people were traveling past. Number two, it would change the way, saying history, and that would not be allowed. Think about it. Let's suppose I went backwards in time and I said to Adolf Hitler, and I killed Adolf Hitler before World War II started. There, World War II not happened, but technology would not advance as a result of that. Or worse, I went backward in time, told Alexander Graham Bell not to push ahead with his phone. Therefore, cell phones would not be in use today because they're just saying history. Now, let's suppose, in a way, but problem is, 1968, that was a game changer in history. Think about it. The hippie, the fire salad, the era, and Woodstock, and many other things over time. We look back on hippie generation, yes, they did a lot. Yes, they may change the way we look at things today, how we look at things, and how things instruction being done, yes. They're basically saying they were movers in the sacred in the 60s, the hippie were. The fire sound were moving in sacred back then. Rest assured, they did stuff that we wouldn't even do. Thing back then, stuff even I would do. Let's suppose I went backwards in time and had a cell phone. And I took that cell phone and used to take photographs of Woodstock then and the people, hippies. Now, what would have happened? Number one, cell phones weren't invented yet. So I have this polluted the past with what I have knowledge of today. Hippies will see this and they will start to develop it quicker than it should be developed. But the problem is time travel. There'll be a Sherry Jackson, 8 years old, in London, Ontario at that time, and there'll be a Sherry Jackson Woodstock at 58 years old. Now, see, the two will both be identical twins, but both will not would coincide in one time. Impossible. And even if that happens, can you guess? Well, one would cease to exist, the other one would. It could be my younger self, 8-year-old, could cease to be existing in timeline. Or me myself could be forced to be thrown back into present at that point. Anyways, because two reasons why. Gotta roll temporal mechanics into the equation here. Maybe sometimes, I could figure out temporal mechanics that makes up the universe. When something goes out of joint, like time, it gets so out of joint, temporal mechanics sometimes have to play a role. What it does is it will move a time a little faster to bring you up to that time quicker. So you wonder, oh man, time flew. Well, it flew because time is sped up to bring you to that point in time quicker. Or if the time goes slower, it will bring you up slower in that point in time. Temporal mechanics are a very delicate piece of the universe itself to even me and to figure out, and even so, best explanation I find in Star Trek Next Generation, Q, and space time continuum, talk about temporal anomalies and Star Trek. Well, we know very little, I know very little, I only know, I can look at it and say, yes, I believe temporal anomalies do exist. In this area where I live in, Stony Creek, is very famous for what happened at temporal anomaly is just at a flash point of a disaster, for example. What happens? You get a huge, massive explosion. It creates a tear in time within the universe, creates a pocket temporal anomaly at a point of the blast. With that point of temporal anomaly, anybody that had to be in that location at the time, or somebody in the future could actually go walk right through that tear in time, into the past. Could be months before the explosion, or could be 100 years in the past. Boom. Good example. The War of 1812, Battle of Stony Creek. Well, hundreds of soldiers were killed, hundreds were wiped out, of course. And of course, that would cause a huge tear within the time continuum. That caused a huge tear within time. That caused in the time continuum itself, and in the temporal anomaly, that created an anomaly that is pretty big. An anomaly, now even an anomaly had shrunk over the years, it's still there. But when they put Red Valley in there, that sort of caused the anomaly that strengthened it a bit. The Six Nations, they knew this. They knew that when they said, do not ever put Red Valley expressway. Oh, no one did it. That just caused it. The anomaly would have dissipated by now if it wasn't for putting the Red Hill, and that can strengthen it. Even I have got caught in those temporal anomalies. Think about it. I got caught in temporal anomalies. Know how? You want to know what really happened? I got caught in temporal anomalies. Number one, years ago, I got Red Hill by standoff. That was before it was built Red Hill Expressway, and I coming back by Rosedale Arena, and next thing I know it, I was standing in this middle of the Indian village from the past. I couldn't figure how I got there. There was an Indian chief there, the Indian warriors, said to me in a dialect, I could barely understand it. It was sort of between Mohawk and Seneca dialect. And the medicine man said, you shouldn't be here. You're not supposed to be here. I said, what do I mean I'm supposed to be here? I said, you're not. You have to go the way you're supposed to be, not our time. And the next thing I know, I'm back behind Rosedale Arena. I don't remember. I just remember that. I was in time very short. Another one. I was up on Red Hill Valley where there's a bunch of cathedral pine trees. To cut them all down and make way for the Red Hill Valley Expressway. I was so mad about cut two old beautiful pine trees just to build the expressway. Oh, they destroyed some really out of view. I'm walking through those pine trees, and all of a sudden, my phone was picking up. All of a sudden, my phone lost signal. That's odd. Of course, I had an older Nokia 918. Then I'm picking up Cantel. Then I'm picking up Hamilton Mobile, Bell Mobile. Then I pick up Bell Cellular. I'm thinking Bell Cellular. Like, that's odd. Those companies no longer exist. Then I pick up Cantel. Cantel no longer. Then I pick up AT&T. Okay, that no longer exists. I know. Then all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm back on where it was, picked up again, onto Roger that time. Okay, well, how the hell this happened? I looked around, and there was a platform built in back of a tree, a burial platform. It wasn't there before. How the hell did that get there? Well, anyways, and I realized that same time I saw on my cell phone, I realized the air was different, the wind was different. Air was clean. It wasn't dirty, and there was a lot of more water running. I realized that too. I realized that happened. Another good instance of temporal anomalies or tear in time, or called time slip, was about earlier this last year. I got off the bus, I go to a traffic light, I press the button. I'm waiting for a traffic light to change to green. Now I'm standing there, next thing I know, I was feeling a whirring in my ears, a heavy sensation in my chest. Like I thought I was having a heart attack. And I looked around and I was standing there, and it's a gravel road. We had a horse and buggies trail, and there was an old farmhouse across this road where the Barkley Road, old farmhouse. There was an old inn called the Rose Inn, I guess. I don't believe that. What the hell's going on here? And then I turned around and saw a cavalry officer, an old, British cavalry officer. I wanted to get down, the Americans are coming, they're coming. Oh, stone wall there, pull behind, and all of a sudden, then I would look to myself, and I was standing across the road in front of Big B Convenience. Lee having out. Whoa. How did this happen? I look at myself. I wondered, and Joe, I wondered, the cabbie officer told me that Officer Sam, his name was Sam, Mr. Officer Robbins, British County told me his name, Robbins, Sergeant Robbins. So I thought maybe that's all. I went back home and looked. The next day I took a visit over at Battlefield Park, and I'm going to look up all the British cavalry of names that fought in 1812. And if you have any log report written, and there was Robbins, Sergeant J. Robbins, fought in the war. I read it over. It said this lady appeared on the gravel, outside on the gravel road, in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a battle line with American soldiers. In the middle of nowhere, it appeared. And I walked out and grabbed her and pulled her behind that. She was dressed in this Rob described me to a T. And then next thing I know, look around, she disappeared, and that's it. So that was a little evident, but it wasn't long enough. They were lucky it didn't cause any interference with the timeline, because it could have caused the Americans to win the war. That could have happened too. Well, I realize that. So that one incident I remember happening a long, long time ago. Well, did happen to me. Now, a year ago. Well, anyways, so even this area here, it's quite known for temporal anomalies, floating like icebergs. Hit one, you end up in 1812. And if you hit a permanent anomaly, you know what happened? You hit one that you can't come back on. Hit an anomaly here, you can't come back. You stuck in 1812. You're not going forward. Matter of fact, I'd be stuck if I got one at permanent, won't be able to get back. Guess what? Then I have to make the best. What do you do in that time? Well, I have to make the best of a worst case scenario. Number two, try not to allow modern technology to influence their history. Number three is I would fight alongside the British to win the war, 1812. I would take my chance of dying at that point. If I did, I did. But then again, I would not do anything or saying that. And if I did live, I would take up a job like back then, like what they do. The horses need horseshoes. I would probably take a job blacksmithing, or probably take a job being working in an inn, fixing dresses. I work for somebody else making beautiful dresses, something be a beautiful dressmaker like that. But no matter how you look at it, I would probably do something up to gain employment anyway. So that would be like interesting, but of course I wouldn't have my access homeowners and that, but I have to try to make the best or worst situation there. I try not to tell people when people ask about, well, I can say, well, things be different, can't say what, wouldn't say anything out. That is very dangerous too, because I could, at that point I could change everything, could change the outcome of World War One and World War Two at that point. And that's something I wouldn't, if I ever get caught in a time paradox like that, I would rather be executed for a crime, hung to die, and to go, to avoid being changing history, because that will happen. But I hope it never happens. But but I never heard of anybody actually happening. But I never heard of it happening here. I heard of people that said that's had those temporal slips. Some other people told me they had the same thing happen to them. Even a few people, even Frank and Oakville said they had the same thing happen to them too. So basically, yes, it have happened here. Happened sometime. If it didn't build Red Hill Expressway, this may not be happening today, but have. Anyways, actually, the Red Hill Expressway is haunted. I can tell you that right now. It is haunted by a neutral warriors. They went and put a Red Hill Expressway through a native cemetery. No. I mean, if let's suppose I'm buried in Hamilton Cemetery, and say, let's build a brand new condo building on top of all these graves. Let's rip it out and build a condo building. Would I want that? No. I'll be very upset. He'd be upset from the afterlife, not one. Well, I don't think the First Nation people who are buried in that cemetery, Indians that were 105 years ago, well, their spirits were not rest. They're very, very upset that it built back on top of them. Would I want that done to my ancestor? Well, I mean, that if you go and do that, Tyrell, we're going to destroy Annabelle County. You know what? Everybody had to be up in an uproar about it. They would put a stop to it before you got built. With Native Cemetery? And they go up in uproar, what do? They put a injunction, they throw them in jail and lock them up. Then still build the expressway. Oh, see? That doesn't seem to, that's what they do. Well, anyways, that's one reason the Red Hills are very, very haunted. Matter of fact, the truck drivers had gone, the people driving down the expressway, and they'll see a warrior on horseback, riding on dirty horseback, dressed in ancient past, ancient clothes, and all that. Fully materialized, literally riding and people swerve their body and they end up in the medium of a car flip on the roof of the ditch. Now, all happened around out by Albion Pass. I've seen cavalry officers, on horseback, British American cavalry officers there too. Ghost officers up there, and they have served to avoid them, and then that too. There's been a case, Rancho Valley, where the automobile got some serious damage done to a front fender, and had this, and had the grill cast in by something, and then when they and had the side window smashed in. So what? And then when they a car was towed to a person had it towed, and what they found in the locker room motors, they found lead musket balls in the back in the car. Went through the window. They found a cannonball, an 1812 Civil War cannonball, American cannonball went through the radiator into the engine compartment, and they couldn't. How do you cannonball? These are mint condition. And even Battlefield Park could not figure out how it happened. There was a case where somebody was up in Red Hook Valley and they were up years ago on Capito Pine. All of a sudden they got shot and there was police investigating murder homicide. When they cornered the outshot, what they found a musket ball. Found about 4 musket balls in the belly. In mint condition. Couldn't figure out how it got there. Basically, they said that they didn't know who they tried to describe, but they couldn't figure who it was and couldn't find it. But anyway, so now anyway, that Red Hook Valley Expressway is haunted, and if you see stuff like that, especially a ghost rider like on a ghost rider, don't be alarmed. It's only a ghost, and ghosts cannot really do. You can the only sure to avoid it, go straight. That only ghosts and ghosts are made of energy, not as ghosts are actually ghosts is a disembodied person, called disembodied human, basically. Think about it. Person who a spirit been disembodied no longer. A ghost is a spirit or a body. That's what it is.